Trying to adjust my lighting as usual. Oh dear, what a day. It's absolutely awful. Blowing a gale out there, blowing a gale. Oh, I hope you're all safe and secure. The dogs won't go out, I can't blame them. They do not want to go out in this weather, and I can't say I blame them. Who's going to be the first one today? Let's see who's going to be number one. Will it be Nathan? Will it be Chris? Will it be somebody completely different? Let's see who it is today. It's Nathan! Hey! You made it number one today. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Claire. Well, I hope you're having better weather than we are. Hi, Rick. You're only here for an hour. Well, better. Better than not at all, I tell you. It's absolutely blowing a gale out there. Yesterday we lost, hi Jude, we lost a fence panel yesterday. Had to go out and buy a new one, otherwise the dogs would have been all over the shop. They would have been all the way down to Fleetwood, or, well, up to Fleetwood or down to Cleveland's, you know. They would have been off through the fence. Oh, God, don't talk to me about that Ginger Whinger. He's a pain in the backside, Rick. He is. He's a liar. He's been proved to be a liar. Hi, Lashira. How many more people have said that's not true? That's not true. What he said is not true. How many more lies is he going to spout? I mean, he might have some grains of truth in there, but we're not going to believe him now, are we? He wants the cash. Of course he does. What's he going to do when he stopped peddling his story and his old news? What's he going to do then? Because he's not going to rehash the same old story over and over again, surely, to goodness me. Because people are going to get very, very bored with that. You can only tell a story once, can't you? It's wet and windy, is it, Nathan? It's blowing, howling a gale here, lad. And it's raining. I tell you, I had that SAD before we started with all this bad weather, but blooming it. Did I get wet on Thursday? Oh, my goodness me. It wasn't just the rain, it was coming in my eyes. Honestly, it was just like needles going in my eyes. It was like icy sleet. And the sea foam was blowing all over the seafront. Hi, so what's knitting? Hello. I don't know whether we'll get the snow here, Nathan. You might get the snow. We very rarely get snow. We get sea foam, we get wind, we get cold, but we very rarely get the snow. But never say never, you never know. You never know. The weather has been dire this year. I've never known it be this bad, except that winter when it snowed and everybody was snowed in. But apart from that, recently we've not had weather like this, have we? Oh, United injury update. Rashford addresses concern after the derby. It's cold and windy there in Gateshead. Oh, gosh. I think it's the same most places, isn't it? Unless somebody's going to come on from the US and say it's boiling here, it's cracking the flags, it's absolutely bouncing. And we'll all be going, so jealous. I've got the doggies again today. Family's gone out. And as they're going out for a drink, they're staying overnight and coming back tomorrow. As I said on my other video, the one thing my son will not do is he will never drink and drive. So he will wait until tomorrow if he's had a drink and then he'll drive home then. I don't blame him. Otherwise, it means one of them can't have a drink, doesn't it? Because one of them's got to drive home. If it's local, they do take it in turns, you know, who drives and who doesn't, yeah. But, you know, being as they're going to meet some friends tonight, that I'm not saying they're going to get drunk, but they'll like a drink, yeah. And with even a couple of drinks, you're not safe, are you, you know? So, how was everybody today? I've got backache. I've got my heat pad. Oh, it's mild for you. Oh, well, send some over here, Rick, will you? Because it's blooming freezing over here. We need a bit of warmth to get us all in a nice mood. I suffer from that SAD. I think I've mentioned it before. This kind of weather just throws me into turmoil. I'll be all right when the sun comes out. It did try yesterday morning. It did try. I did manage to get to the post office without getting soaked. Yeah. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. That's it. It's all right. I'm counting. I'm actually crocheting. That knitting didn't get very far, I'm afraid. I don't think I've touched it since last Saturday. And the crocheting didn't go any further, but I found a baby pattern. Well, it's a toddler pattern. I found some on Etsy, some really good crochet baby patterns if you're in the market for them. And they're all less than £1 each. Hi, Squirrel Raid. Hi, Nellie Michelle. They're all less than £1 each. I've put a link, not under this video, under the other video. She's called, what's she called now? My Little Rainbow Shop. It's all one word. Hi, Chris. But I tell you, if you're in the market for cheap baby patterns, modern ones, they're all less than £1. So I bought quite a few. Well, you might as well. I mean, some of them want £6 for a pattern. You know, the £1 each. I could get 6 for the price of one. I don't mind paying for a pattern if it's a really, really good one with lots of instructions. But I really object to paying £6 or £8 and you get a load of gobbledygook, yeah? I really object to that. You know, some of them feel like saying, are you kidding me? You just charged me £6 for this load of junk, yeah? But these patterns, I mean, some of them have got how many pages long and they've got pictures and they've got all sorts of things with them. I think she's got a sale on at the minute, so I'm grabbing them while they're on sale. Not that I'm tight or anything like that, but I am really, yeah. I am really. No, I decided to have another go at crocheting baby patterns, but seeing as the last ones I made were all classic and like kind of more or less traditional, I thought I'll try again with some more modern ones. And you never know, you'll look in a raffle, do you? You might just sell a few. My friend and I are going to do another craft fair on March the 18th. It's just in my Mother's Day over here in the UK. And it's nearly Easter as well. So we're just thinking of things we can make, you know, like baskets or bags or stuff like that. I'm not making any more garments because I've got enough to sink a battleship, you know. I might take a few shawls with me, but I'm not making anything else. And as it'll be mid-March, I'm definitely not taking hats and scarves and things like that. You know, we'll see how we do. We didn't do too badly, actually, at the last craft fair at the Methodist because they'd advertised it properly. And I'm not being awful to a couple of the ones we've just done. Yeah, that's the one. Look at the prices, honestly, Chris. They are so, so reasonable if you want to crochet anything for a baby, anybody. You know, I couldn't, well, I was like, yes, I'll have that one. Yes, I'll have that one. I'll have that one. If they're only going to be £1 each, I'll have that one. Yeah, that is not bad. I think she might put the prices up. I think it's kind of like a sale at the minute. But I tell you, if anybody wants any, tell your friends if anybody's making baby things to go and snap them up while they're only 95 cents. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting as many as I can afford. I tell you, Chris. I mean, I'm used to paying like £6, £8 for one pattern. So I thought, well, I might as well spend £8, £6, £8, and get 6 or 8 patterns. You know, I've got all that wool in the shed. You know, that I got for the second throw that I never made. So I've got all that. I mean, they're pale colours, but they're not sickly pastel colours. So I'm hoping to use some of those. I have made one pattern up, but I wouldn't recommend this pattern because it had so many glitches in it. I had to sort of sort it out. I did try and show it on me. It wants blocking, badly wants blocking, but it's like a kind of a boho type sweater. It wants blocking out so that you can see it better. So I'm making another one of those. I mean, that was a bought pattern, and she didn't even throw the hat in. My colour's gone mad. On the pattern, it's red and then gold and then green, pale green and then dark green, and red again at the bottom, so it looks awful, doesn't it? Hi, Lashira. So I don't know what's happened to the colour on my printer. It's telling me my inks are all right. So why it hasn't printed the red, why it's printed it all in blue and green, I don't know. I have no clue. But as I say, I have to adapt that pattern. It's just, it may not be wrong. It's just I didn't understand what she was talking about for some of the time, you know. And I'm like, oh, what the heck? Mm-hmm. I am not knowing, as my friend used to say. Yeah, I don't know what. I'll have to print something else out and see whether the reds and the pinks. But I am not buying another coloured ink because they're 40 quid. So I'm not buying another coloured ink. I'll make do with the blue and the green. Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend who was a Sikh, but he was born in Manchester, so he'd never seen India, you know. Whenever anything was said to him, he used to say, I am not knowing, I am not knowing. And I used to say, oh, give over the ballast. You're born in blooming Manchester. Yeah. But he could turn on the accent when he felt like it, yeah. I miss seeing him. He was great fun. What's the matter, Rose? Rosie keeps coming up to me and crying. Now, normally she doesn't bother when they go out for the afternoon, you know, the evening. She doesn't normally bother. I don't know what's wrong with her today. I've let her out a couple of times, but she's just, what's the matter, sweetheart? What's the matter? Hey, what's wrong? Hey, what's wrong? She's just really out of sorts. She well. I've opened the door. She just before I came on here, I opened the door for her. But honestly, it is awful out there. It's blowing a gale and it's raining, so you know I can't blame her for not wanting to go. Oh, I think the little one's gone potty somewhere as well. She wouldn't go out. She's a little monkey, the little one. She will not go out if it's raining or anything like that. She will not go out. So it smells like she's gone potty somewhere. Usually it's in the hall. At least there I can mop it, you know. I'll give her a do. She doesn't go on the carpet. Yeah, I'm making another one. I'm not happy with this though. It's sort of very open work. Yeah, I think I prefer them all together. But now I've done a couple, I know how the method is. Let's say I could do, something similar, but on a smaller hook, yeah. Oh my goodness me, I can hear that wind. Oh, she's definitely gone potty somewhere, I can smell it. You're a monkey's uncle, you are. Where have you been now? I'll have to go and find it in a minute. Can't stand this for another 3 hours. I've just let her out, but she wouldn't go. My daughter-in-law said, you have to stand outside with her because she won't go if you don't stand outside with her. I thought, oh, yeah, and that for a tale. If you think I'm standing out there in a full scale in the rain, it's just so that she can go potty, you've got another thing coming. I ain't doing that. Oh, you'll have to excuse me for a couple of minutes. I'm going to have to go and see what she's done because I am not liking what I'm smelling. Sorry if you're eating. Oh, where have you been? Where have you been, potty? Have you been potty somewhere? Has she been potty somewhere, has she? She's a naughty girl. Where's she been potty? Where's she been? Where's she been? I don't know where she's been. Well, I don't know. I can't find anything, but I definitely can smell something. Oh dear. I've looked in all the obvious spots. I've got my pukey yellow blanket because my legs are cold. No, I can't find anywhere where she's been. So I'll let her off. It must be just wind. Oh dear. Yeah, as I was saying, I think this is a bit open work. I don't like too big of a hook. But I know some people do. Some people crochet everything on whopping big hooks. So I'm not a fan of it. I prefer mine a little bit more close together. I don't know what your thoughts are. But maybe if it's this open work, it will stretch with the baby. It will last it a bit longer because it'll keep on growing. You never know. Everybody's very quiet. Am I not seeing anything here? Chris was the last person to speak 5 minutes ago. Were you all gone quiet? Thank goodness you're talking to me, Chris, because nobody else seems to be. Hiya, so what's knitting? Thought you'd all gone off me. You're full. Yeah. YouTube told me I've lost 5 subscribers. Oh, 5. Where have they all gone? Hi, Amanda Jane. I know people come and go, but 5? What have I done wrong? Don't they like me anymore? Not used to losing 5. Mind you, YouTube takes them off me now and again. You know, if people haven't viewed you for a little while, they take you off them off you. Hey ho, hey ho. Hi there, Susan. How are you? What's everybody making today? I've told you what I'm doing, so what is everybody else doing? What are you all making today? You're loom knitting a scarf. Do you know I never got the hang of loom knitting? I've got one of those addy things, you know, you turn a little handle with, yeah. 2 videos a day? My goodness, has she got nothing else to do with her life? I'm sorry, but I couldn't do I can't even do 1 video a day. I can't even do that vlogmas thing what everybody was doing. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I've got backache today, but I'm not too bad. You're knitting a lacy scarf. Oh, how nice. My knitting's gone for a bird and I haven't done any more since last week. Oh my goodness, the thing's just flashed up saying snow and ice. I hope not. She wants to be the queen of UK knitting videos. Well, good luck to her. Good luck to her. I've heard a lot of people want to do that before and come to a crashing halt, yeah. You're always reliant on whoever wants to view you. I know it's a bugger, isn't it? Yeah. Sheila's knitting tips and whatever. Yeah, everybody starts off with YouTube saying, I want to be this and I want to get so many thousand. My viewers have more or less stayed the same for about the last 5 years. They go up a couple, go down a couple, up a couple, down a couple. I've lost 5 this week. I'm really upset about that. But more or less, my channel doesn't grow because I've got nothing to tell people. Her birthday's the same as Queen Elizabeth. I bet she's been telling everybody that as well. Well, I wish her luck if she wants to grow a channel. I'm not jealous at all. If people want to do that, then good luck to them, is what I say. But do they realise how much hard work it is? It's not actually making the videos, it's the content, you know, trying to stop yourself from being boring, you know. I have that problem. I can't think of half the things I want to say half the time. And I'm so conscious of the fact if I've got nothing new to say, I'm boring everybody to death, you know. You know, if I can't think of some new novel, you know, something that's happened in my life, something to tell you all, you know. Well, that's pretty boring, really, yeah. Oh, I can talk for England, Rick, I really can, but I mean, it's whether anybody wants to listen, that's the main thing, isn't it? You can talk, because I can talk, as you probably realised, but it's all to do with whether people want to find you interesting and whether people want to listen to you. You know, you're crocheting a granny square sweater for your daughter. I love granny squares. I really do. People say, oh gosh, they're old fashioned, but I really like granny squares. Oh gosh, honestly, I couldn't do it, Rick. I couldn't even do the Vlogmas where you have to do one every day. I did it one year, but that was when I was buying magazines, buying books, buying wool. So, and I was actually crocheting a lot at the time. So I felt like I did have something to show people each day, you know. But just recently, I mean, I've been sitting here sort of contemplating my navel for about the last few weeks. So I've got nothing to show anybody. So I think, gosh, you're pretty boring, aren't you, Jonna? What's the point of doing a vlogmas or a vlog every day when you're so boring? Oh, I don't like bingo. That's the one thing I've never got into. I know some people love it. Some people think it's the most wonderful thing, but I've never got into bingo. Never got into it. Honey nut cereal. I'm sorry, but she sounds pretty boring. I might have to have a look at her to see if she nods me off. She could be a channel I could watch when I can't sleep at night, couldn't she? If she's talking about bingo and only not cereal, I'll be going to sleep. Well, I shouldn't criticise her because I haven't watched her, so I don't know, do I? So I don't want to get in a slanging match calling her names when I don't know the woman. There's too much of that goes on. She would, because I would probably leave the room. I give up. I give in gracefully. I just don't. I don't do arguments, as you probably realise, Rick. Life's too short to have a row. If it comes to a confrontation, I usually walk away. Although I nearly punched the chemist on Friday. The pharmacist, I nearly punched him. He had me sitting there for 3/4 of an hour, and then it was my turn to be dispensed. He told me he didn't have it in stock. I said, "You've had me sitting there for 3/4 of an hour." I said, "Why didn't you tell me before?" He said, "Oh, we deal with the prescriptions in order." I said, "Well, that's a lie for a kick-off." I said, "Because there's about 6 or 8 people that came in after me that have had their prescriptions dispensed." I said, "And I'm still sitting here like Piffy. And then you tell me you don't even have them in stock." And I wouldn't mind, but I can't get them anywhere else. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Just not have an injection. That'll be it, won't it? Send me diabetes up the wall. Do I care? No. Do I worry? No. I'll see if I can get them in another chemist. My son went to another chemist today and they didn't have them. It's a peculiar thing that not many chemists stock. So, but it wouldn't be me, would it, if I didn't have a peculiar thing, if you know what I mean? Tra-la-la. Why am I singing the banana splits? That reminds me of Saturday mornings with my son. He used to love the monkeys and the banana splits. And what else used to be on? That one with that dog. Was it called Shaggy? And then the other ones. Can't think what they were called now. Where they were always chasing ghosts. I'm sure Chris will know what I'm talking about. He always does. He's on my wavelength, I think, when I start going, Scooby-Doo, that's the one. Scooby-Doo! If I want to go to sleep, I'll check her out, Rick. She sounds quite boring, really, but I don't know. I'm not calling the woman. I don't want her coming on here saying, I believe you're calling me boring, when I've never even watched her, so I shall reserve my judgment until I actually watch one. Yeah, 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. She's competitive. Well, she can be. I'm not. I'm not competitive at all. If I was, maybe I'd have 10,000 subscribers instead of 7. Oh, dear. I remember a woman coming on here one time saying that she was going to be bigger than Jonah. If you remember Jonah, that kid, he's got about 27 million subscribers. She said she was going to blow Jonah out the water. She was going to be bigger than him. I think she's got about 700 subscribers. You've got to love an optimist, though, haven't you? You really have got to love an optimist. I would never say that. I've never been that competitive. I've done a bit more. Hello, Granny D. Hello. I'm not a competitive person. I've lost my other square now. Oh, there it is. I'm just not. Oh, I wish I was more competitive. Maybe I'd get on more in life if I was competitive, but I've never have been. And I think if it's not your nature, it just isn't your nature, is it? The only time I've ever been competitive was when I was at school and I used to do athletics. I was competitive in like running and things like that, but not in anything else, not academically. My mother was, she was very pushy, my mum. She never thought I was doing well enough. She always thought I could do better, which I probably could, but I only ever did as much as I had to do when I was at school, yeah. I'm not a master knitter. I used to knit a lot quicker when I was younger, but not now. Like I say, I'm just not going to pick myself up as being, oh, I am so wonderful at A, B, C, and D, because I know I'm not. I'm average, Mrs. Average. Average crocheter, average knitter. But I always think if you can please yourself with what you've made, if you make it and you think to yourself, I haven't done a bad job there, that's fine. But I don't believe in oh, I've made this absolutely fantastic jumper. It's absolutely fabulous. And I'm thinking, stop it. Hi, baby. How are you? Nice to see you. You're a bit later coming in last week, didn't we? We nearly missed you. Yeah, I'm not doing so bad. Backache, but apart from that, fine. You know, blowing a gale outside, raining. It's horrible, but apart from that, fine. Can't complain. If you're in the UK, we've all got it. Oh, you're busy in the kitchen. What you making us? What you making for us all? You making us anything nice? As long as it's not a curry, I can't eat a curry. I can eat other things. I can eat those, not chapatas, what are they called? Samosas. I can eat samosas. I just don't like the curry. There used to be a brilliant West Indian shop not far from where I lived when I had a car. It was down in sort of like, the West Indian section of Manchester. Brilliant shop it was for West Indian food. I love rice and peas. Oh, do I ever love rice and peas? You're serving dinner a bit late. Well, I'm sure nobody will mind as long as you feed them. Yeah, I like jerk chicken, which is funny because I don't like curry, but I like jerk chicken and I like rice and peas. When I worked at the job centre, there was a West Indian girl used to work there, and if her mum had any leftovers, from jerk chicken or rice and peas, she used to bring them for me on a Monday in a little tub thing. It was great. I used to warm them up in the canteen, and everybody said, "Oh, what's that lovely smell?" And he'd say, "It's my friend's mum's rice and peas and chicken." As I say, I miss that, and I miss the samosas. I used to get the samosas, but I mean, towards the end of me being in Prestwich, I didn't have a car, so I couldn't get them anymore. They didn't deliver. Well, they did deliver, but not that far up because they were sort of South Manchester side, yeah. I can hear the wind blowing. It's blowing a hoolie. That's if you're Irish. Blowing a hoolie. Tra la 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 la. I spoke to Sue this week. She's doing okay. It was windy and it was cold, but it wasn't snowing. I spoke to my cousin today, my 88-year-old cousin. It's nice to keep in touch, isn't it? Yeah, I've got my heat pad. It's full of beans or some such thing. Yeah, it's nice to keep in touch with your cousins when they're elderly, isn't it? Because, let's face it, when they're 88, you never know, do you? Although he's in good health at the minute. I was trying to persuade him to downsize because he's in a massive 3-story house that he's had for years. And I keep saying, it's time you downsized a bit, really. It's too much for him now. I don't suppose he's been in half the rooms for a while. Whoop, whoop to you as well. Whoop, whoop. At least that advert's gone off. I'll tell you now, the whoop, whoop advert. Just trying to think which advert's bugging me at the moment. Yes, I'm doing. Oh, I've done a little. It wants blocking, so it looks a bit weird at the minute. It wants blocking out. Done a little, and I'm doing another one at the minute. But I can't get on with the ones I'm already doing. I just can't. That knitting pattern I started last week, it's not gone any further. But I was just saying before, Chris put a link further up. There's a lady on Etsy if you're looking for baby patterns. She's selling them really cheap. If you're in America, they're 95 cents, I think. And if you're in the UK, they're about 90p. Yeah, my little rainbow shop. And they're really nice patterns. And they're so reasonable. And they're not, like, what do you call it? Not photocopies. They're her own patterns, yeah. You've got Whitdrade. Well, I'm hoping so. I love making baby things, Susan, but they don't usually sell for me. But I'm only using wool bits and pieces that I've got hanging about, so it's not like I'm buying new stuff, and wasting my money. These are just made with what I've already got in stock. So, I bought a load of wool, if you remember, well, wool yarn, if you remember, for making that granny square throw when I only made one. So I've got all the wool in the shed for the other one. So I need to use it up, really. Otherwise, it's just waste, isn't it? Just sitting there, because I don't wear pastel colours, as you know. So it would just sit there if I don't make it up for children or babies. So I'm hoping that they might sell. If they don't sell, they don't sell. That's the end of the story, isn't it? But I have to crochet something, otherwise I go spare. I'm not. I have to crochet something. I really do. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I've sat here for about 2 weeks now with nothing on the hook, nothing on the needles much. But I've tried. And I can't just keep sitting here, just lollygagging and doing nothing. It's not doing me any good because, I think I told you before, I have that SAD, which means like, you know, a seasonal, what's it, where I go into a decline when the weather's bad. So sitting here doing nothing, staring out the window at the weather is not exactly helping. And I've not even been in the mood to read or anything like that. So I need to do something for the sake of my mental health, my brain, so it doesn't go, hmm. So I'm doing something. If they don't sell, they don't sell. Well, that's the end of the story, isn't it? But I'm doing another craft fair in March. Me and my friend again, trying again. But it's the one where we didn't do too bad. So we're trying that one again, hoping that will have the same success as we did last time. The other ones we did were a waste of space and time, so we're not doing them again. You know, when the church ones and they don't advertise them, they're just waste of time. But this one, she really plugs them, you know, she tells everybody about them and she puts them on Facebook. She gets everybody, like, you know, to tell everybody else that they know. So at least she does try to get people over the doorstep. But the rest of them, I think they just rely on the church congregation. And we all know that not everybody wants to buy anything that's crocheted. I mean, to be honest, the last one we went to, um, hardly anybody came over the doorstep and hardly anybody sold anything. I think a lot of people, more than what you think, have SAD. I won't take any antidepressants because I usually get through it on my own. I've got a lovely lamp, but I've no room to put it on my bedside table. And it wakes you up, it glows like, and the light gets brighter and brighter. And it's supposed to work on the serotonin in your brain, you know, to get you sort of imitation sunshine, if you know what I mean. But I've not had anywhere to plug it in. I'm very desperately short of plugs, you know, sockets in my bedroom. So I've got actually nowhere to put it. You don't think of these things, do you, when you get your bedrooms? You don't think of how many things you need to plug in, how many things you would like to. You know, like you've got your hair dryer. I've got my toothbrush charges up, so I've got my charger for my toothbrush. I've got my CPAP machine. We've got the Alexa thing, you know, got that. Something else plugged in. There's no room for anything else. I did have a clock radio when I was in Prestwich that used to wake you up by, you know, glowing up like that. And it was great. I have no room for it. I've got a bedside table that's about 6 inches square. Hi, Ethan. Oh, did you see that Ephraim? He'd bought this, well, his daughter had bought this wool for him to knit up for a cardigan. And it was supposed to be that no dye lot stuff, red heart. And he knitted it up, and oh my goodness me, what a difference. Well, I said, well, you should get hold of Red Heart and tell them that they, you know, you don't need a dye lot stuff is a load of poop. Because you could really see the difference. I said, tell them about it, send it, you know, tell them. They might send you a voucher to get some more wool, or some more yarn, I should say. But it wasn't even vaguely alike, yeah. Wildcard football going on in Seattle. Oh, right. I don't understand American football. My son used to play it at one time, in the UK, obviously. But I couldn't understand it. It takes me all the time to try with rugby. But I never understood American football. It just seemed to be everybody pouncing on everybody else, you know. I never understood it. Maim your opponent. It's a wonder they ever survive, isn't it? Oh, she's probably watching the 49ers, is she? I have tried to watch a game of it, but I think not being brought. I mean, I can't understand football, so I'm hopeless. I'm not very sporty. Not very sporty at all. I used to cower when we played hockey. I used to run away nearly, and I put up a. Oh, hiya, Shad. Yeah, look, there you are. Twinkles, twinkles. That's what it's like. Beads and twinkles. I know a lady. I'd put some school photographs on one of the pages, and a lady said to me, "Do you have one of the netball team?" I went, "No, I was never in the netball team. I was never good enough to be in the netball team or anything to do with balls." And don't make any comments. I mean, the kind of balls that you just, hit. Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised. I mean, hockey balls are bad enough. I got hit in the shins with a hockey ball. And that put me right off. Yeah. I didn't want to play it after that when you've been walloped in the shin. And how's Shad? How's your little house, Shad? How are you doing with it? How's that other young man, the one that was football? Was it something that his heart stopped? I think he recovered. They had to have CPR on the field, I think. I can't remember who he was. He was American. He's only young. I think he's about 24 or something. Scary, isn't it? You sort of think of people my age having heart attacks, but not young ones like that. Oh, is that what he was, Damon Hanlon? Yeah. Oh, you've got a little bit more to do. Oh, everything painted and done. Have you crocheted a new throw for your bed? You got it all hunky dory. Hi, John. How are you doing? How's the weather in Ireland? It's horrible over here. It's blowing a hoolie. We've got no Kaz again today, have we? Where's Kaz gone? I need to send her a message. No, they keep saying we're going to have snow over here, John. I don't know. It's not very nice. I don't know where Kaz has been unless she's been working. I don't know. She's not been on for a couple of weeks. I've seen her on YouTube. Yeah, not YouTube. Facebook. Oh, beef jerky. I always imagine that would be chewy. I don't know whether it is or not. Is it dried beef or something? Yeah, yeah. I must find out where Kaz is. Maybe she's working. I don't know. Maybe she's busy. She normally pops in and says hello unless she's got work tomorrow morning. It's dried and very chewy. Oh, I don't know. I haven't got the best of teeth anymore, Rick, you know. I used to enjoy a steak, but I can't anymore. You've had tornadoes. Oh, my goodness me. We've had high wind. It blew up my fence post. Well, not my fence post, our fence post down. We had to get a new fence piece. Otherwise, the dogs would have been everywhere. But yeah, my daughter-in-law, when luckily she went out with the dogs, not just let them out, and then she realised the fence panel was missing. Otherwise, Shanta noticed the dogs could have been anywhere because they would have galloped off. Freedom! I woke up to this fence panel being slotted in and I'm thinking, what's going on? Because I don't get up that early, to be quite truthful. I open an eye and if the weather's bad, I think, nah, I've nothing to get up for. Unless I'm going out somewhere and I've got something to get up for. But I didn't go to knit club this week because I opened my eyes, looked outside, torrential rain. I thought, do I really want to go to knit club? No, not that much. I'm not that thrilled about going to knit club. I enjoy it, don't get me wrong, I do. But not so much that I'm going in the torrential rain. I could have got a taxi, I suppose, but I decided to give it a miss. This week might be better. You never know. Fingers crossed. I couldn't go to the library on Monday, to the knit club at the library, because the scooter man didn't come till nearly lunchtime. And then I was waiting in for a parcel and the family weren't in. And it had already been redirected once, so I thought, no, I better stop in, collect my parcel. So, I've ordered some really jazzy pants, like patchwork pants. Trousers, I should say, in case you don't know what pants are. They're not undergarments, they are overgarments. From my favourite shop, Moonbeams and Mayhem. It's a good job she doesn't do really big sizes, otherwise I'd be bankrupt because I love all her stuff, but fortunately, being a little bit on the chunky side, her stuff doesn't normally go up to my size. So I'm just hoping that when these trousers arrive, they do actually fit. Otherwise, I'll have to go on a diet because I like them so much. I want to wear them. I will show them when they arrive. I'll show you a video of them when they arrive. That might actually spur me on into crocheting a sweater to go with. I've ordered 2 pairs. One's a summer pair and one's a winter pair. It might actually spur me on into making myself a sweater to match if I don't have anything. It's a bit hit and miss because they don't tell you exactly what colour you're going to get. They just have a lot of different colours, trousers, and you just have to, it's potluck which ones you get given. So we'll see what colour arrives. I hope it's nice. I mean, I'm one of the best customers. They should at least give me the best colours, shouldn't they? They know I like the bright colours, yeah. Don't send me the dark ones. Don't send me the dull ones. Don't like them. Although, having said that, I did order a brown dress the other day. Only plain. You know me and my plain dresses. But then I like to jazz them up, you see, wear something bright on top. So I need to go through my sweaters and my cardigans and have a cull and make some more. Because I can't fit any more in the wardrobe, but there's some I don't really wear. So some I could, donate somewhere. Because they're quite decent quality. They're not rubbish. We shall see. I'm getting hungry. I didn't have a lot of tea. And I've only had porridge this morning, so I'm getting a bit hungry. Going to eat my crisps in a minute. My chips, I should say. I made a boo-boo yesterday. They ordered from the Chinese because nobody had been shopping. So I ordered king prawns with broccoli, forgetting that sometimes prawns really make me itch. And I really was itching last night. I had to take antihistamines. I can eat prawns and shellfish and things. 9 times out of 10, I'm fine. And then one time I start with like hives. Oh, thank you, Shad. Yeah, hit the like button, please. Please like me. I'm feeling unloved. I've lost 5 subscribers this week, so I'm feeling unloved. Like I'm really worried, you know. It's not the be all and the end all. People come and go, don't they? But I don't normally look. It's just that I thought, oh my goodness, I lost 5 subscribers. If I'd lost 1 or 2, I wouldn't have noticed. But 5? I thought, oh, blimey. They've really gone off me. 5 of them have decanted. Was I that boring? Oh, yeah, hit the like button, yeah, because it raises my profile. Thank you very much. Doesn't do a whole lot of else, but it raises my profile. So I believe. I've never been into this YouTubing business stuff, but I believe that's why people say hit the like and subscribe button, is because it raises your profile so that more people can see you. I mean, people who don't normally subscribe to you, if you know what I mean. That's what it does. It raises your profile. So I wouldn't mind my profile being raised. Blatant begging. Please raise my profile. I don't beg for anything else. Don't beg for money. Don't beg for anything else. And I certainly don't beg for wool. Ah, dear. 2, 4, 6, 8. La 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 la. I'm going to eat some chips. I finished this second piece now. I've got to do shoulder pieces and then fasten it up round the side. Oh, I'm going to go to sleep, it says here. Or to sleep. Press the button. There we go. Push the button. Oh, you got to go, Rick. Right, okie dokie. We shall see you maybe next week or maybe later. Depends where you're going, doesn't it? I've done another piece. Another piece. I made this one row bigger so that it would be a little bit bigger for a bigger child, yeah. Hey. But I'm eating my chips now, or crisps or whatever. They are lightly salted. Because I'm not very keen on the flavoured ones. I'm not very keen. Did I drink all my coffee? No, I didn't. Cold coffee should be iced coffee. Or otherwise you shouldn't drink it. That's just cold coffee. I've got to get my blocking board. Well, they're not blocking boards. I tell a lie. Play mats. But I use them for blocking board. I need to get them out of the shed. Because this little top I've done in cream definitely needs to be blocked. I was watching somebody today. I think it might have been Mama Llama or Llama Mama Kayla, who says she never blocks anything. I suppose it depends on what she's making. But you need to block a shawl. Otherwise, you don't get the full potential, do you? You don't get the full width of it. There's a song in there called Push the Button. Push the button. Can't think what it is now. I'm sure Chris will tell me. Chris is my font of all knowledge, aren't you, Chris? What you cooking today, Shad? What you making for your dinner, tea, whatever you call it, lunch? I know you're always cooking, and so's Chris. So I'll tell you, I haven't seen for a bit. Enid, I haven't seen you for a bit. I knew you'd know, Chris. Yeah, I haven't seen Enid for a bit. Hope she's okay. Hi, Julie. Has anybody else seen Enid, or has she just vanished without a trace? Not been on for a few weeks, has she, Enid? I think she was having some construction work done on the house, if I remember rightly. You're doing stir fry with vegetables. Oh, right. I like stir fry, provided it's cooked through. My daughter-in-law sort of waves it over the heat, and it's like hot, crunchy stuff. My stir fry's always got to have a sauce. I don't like dry stir fry, if you're with me. I like a Chinese sauce with it, or a sweet and sour sauce or something. But our stir fry never has anything, never has any sauce or anything. Oh, it probably is. Probably is, Chris. I might have been a pot baby in my youth. One thing I don't do here, I don't listen to the radio. I used to listen to it all the time. I actually don't have a radio here. I can probably ask Alexa to play me the radio. I think my daughter-in-law asks it to play radio too, or something like that. And Alexa started being stupid now. You ask it to play such and such a thing by so and so, and it tells you, we are playing similar music. Oh my God, sound like a dustbin went blown over them. And it plays you anything but. It said, if you want to listen to this. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Jean. And it says, if you want to listen to the specific music, you have to pay so much a month. And I'm thinking, nah. The amount they want to pay a month, you could buy a CD every month for that. So why would I want to pay? Well, I've got something crawling in my hair. Felt like I had a spider in my hair then. What am I snacking on? Walker's lightly salted crisps. 45% less salt. I get earworms when I'm not even listening to music. Songs spring in my head. It's usually when I'm walking in the kitchen for some strange reason. I walk in the kitchen and start singing a snatch like of a song, you know. And then it gets stuck in my head, but I never go any further because I never know all the words. It's like phrases out of songs that I remember. I used to listen to reggae and stuff, yeah. My son fixed the phone. My son fixed the phone, yay! The eBay sales, no, I haven't sorted them out yet. The one that's been stuck in my head this week has been Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran. Well, I'm enjoying being able to use the phone. It's a nice change. My daughter-in-law's given me a tablet. It's not a new one, but it's new to me. I'm second-hand road, I don't care. So I'm going to hope to be using that. I was going to hope to use it when I went to the cafe, but the cafe's got absolutely rubbish internet, yeah. Hi, Melly. I think it might be March because February, my niece's mum, my sister-in-law, is moving at the end of February. So I don't think I'll see my niece until March or April. Plus, it has to be when she's off school because she's a headmistress. So it will have to be when she's got a week off work off. So at least she can take me somewhere. I'm not staying with her. I'm going to stay in a, what do you call it, a travel lodge. And I'm going to meet one of my other friends. I said to her, can we meet up for breakfast? And she said, oh, yeah, they're great. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't seen her, obviously, since we moved here. I might even go down and look at my old house, although that might be upsetting. I might want to move back in it. Tell them to get out. Or the vegans, yeah. I think, well, I don't know who they are. Nobody knows who they are. People on my street, people living facing them don't know them. They don't see them. They're weird. I mean, they're so friendly on my street, absolutely. Well, on my old street, I should say. They're so friendly. I cannot understand why anybody doesn't want to kind of be sociable and join in anything. But if that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. Oh, you've got your house up for sale. We were lucky, really. I sold when the market was really good. My sister-in-law sold hers. Well, all being well, you never know, do you? Fingers crossed. So she's hoping to move at the end of February. She's going down to London to be near her other daughter and her children. Oh, my urban gypsy dancers. Yes, she was great, Katie. Yeah, she was a really good teacher. I don't know whether she still does it, actually. She went into being a celebrant, I think. A bit like Not Quite Enough Yarn, yeah. She's a celebrant, isn't she? But I loved that belly dancing. I really did. But my back just went too bad and I couldn't do it. And then I had my operation and then I couldn't do it at all. My new scooter, no, it's not coming till, I think it's the first week of February now. So I've got another couple of weeks to wait. I've waited this long Just watch, the weather will turn lovely when it arrives. This weather is dire, absolutely dire. Yeah, I don't know why I moved here though, Melly. Honestly, I really don't. The trouble is I couldn't afford a bungalow where I lived before. I couldn't have afforded one. You know, the property prices were so high where I lived. I know I was selling a decent property, but I wouldn't have been able to even buy a bungalow over there because property prices are just, yeah. Yeah, he's took the Pope Mobile back. Some other poor soul of a woman's wanting it. I said to him, I hope she's deaf. He started laughing. Mind, he struggled to get it back in the van because it was blowing a hoolie, and he was like, I see what you mean, he said, about this one in the wind. He said, I've just struggled to get it back in the van. He says, because the wind kept catching it. I said, yeah, exactly. So do you expect me to go down the seafront in it? I don't think so. So I'm looking forward to a new one. It's lower. You have to sort of duck to get in this new one. At least you. I could have stood up in the other one and steered it. It was that tall. I shall show you all when it arrives. I should have took a picture of it when he brought it, actually, so you could see the one that I'm hoping to get. Yeah. I said to him, "Oh, it's got drinks container, drink things." The other one didn't know where to put your sunglasses or your drink. Yeah. And he goes, "Is that how you judge a scooter? By the fact you've got drink holders, cup holders?" I went, "Yeah." I like my cup holders because there's nowhere else to put your sunglasses otherwise. Yeah. My eye must have looked a funny little sight going down the seafront on Thursday. I had my grey woolly hat on, the one that comes down here with the pom on the top. And it came up over my nose, yeah. So all that was just my eyes were showing, but it was blowing that much, the wind, it was going in my eyes like shards of glass nearly in my eyes. So I had to put my sunglasses on. So I bet people were thinking, what's the woman got sunglasses for when it's blooming raining and blowing a gale? Silly woman's got her sunglasses on. Hi, Jill. Or Blossom, or whatever they want to call you. I call you Jill. I've never known you as Blossom, though. That's probably why. I think it's Shad that knows you as Blossom. Talking about my scooter, Jill. Yeah, I knew Shad would call you Blossom. Oh, can you come over to my house when you've done that, Jill? I need decluttering and reorganising, yeah. I definitely need reorganising. I'm sure I could fit more in the shed if it was more. I'm looking at Jill's video. Did anybody see Jill's video where she's tidied up a shed? I had shed envy. I really did have shed envy. I'm like, oh, why can't I have a shed like that? And I've been watching Crochet Rocks as well, Tracy. She's tidied up hers and done it all out, and she's got like a what do you call it, like a worktop where she's going to be doing her videos on. And I'm like, I'm so jealous. But mine's so dark, I've not got any window. I've only got one window. So in order to do videos in there, I'd have to have a better source of light, really. I'm working on it. Yeah. Yeah, I have shed envy, Joe. Really have shed envy. I mean, my shed's only half the size of yours anyway, but that's not the point. It could be a lot tidier. Well, not tidy as much as organised. It's quite tidy at the minute, but organised, no. No, it makes me jealous, Gee, when I see other people organising their sheds. And I'm like, I won't like that. I want room to craft. I want a table. I want a worktop. I haven't got one. And I definitely want some lighting in there. It's chronic. I've only got one small window because mine's a shed. It's not a specific, crafting space with lots of windows and things. Like Tracy, that Crochet Rocks, hers was a caravan, so it has loads of windows. So she's got loads of light flooded in hers. Whereas I've got one window. Oh, you're shifting it all right. Well, when you're done, can you fly over here, missus, and do mine as well? I keep hoping somebody nearby will say, oh, I'll come and help you, Jan. But there's nobody does. People who said they would help me all live at the other end of the country. And they say, oh, we'd love to come in and help you. And I'm like, yeah, but you live miles away. Shad, my shed is bigger than that, love, and it's full. I don't know what my shed is, yeah. Hello, Princess Poppy. Hello. I'm nice and warm in the house. It's not warm outside, but it's nice and warm in the house, yeah. It's blowing a gale out there, blowing the bins over, garbage cans, whatever you want to call them if you're in America. It's blowing them about all over the place. I can hear them banging. And we lost a shed. We didn't lose the shed. No, we lost a fence panel. So, yeah, I'd like a window in my door, but it's just an ordinary shed, so it's not going to happen, is it? It's not that kind of doorway that you can put a proper door in it. So I'll have to make do. It's not bad in the summer because I can leave the door open and then the light comes in. And then the dogs come in, of course, yeah. Is it breezy there? It's breezy here, I tell you. It's blow you off your feet breezy here. Yeah. But at least, as we were saying before, my high-sided scooter hath gone to some other poor soul, and I wish her the best of luck with it. Yeah, I mean, it's not. When I think of people who have hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff, it's not been that bad, but it's been windy. Yeah, very, very, very windy. Hi, Connie. We get what we call like sea foam that blows over. It looks like washing up suds that comes flying over from the sea. So you're going along the seafront and you get covered in this sea foam, they call it. And it billows all over the place. It sticks to your jackets and everything. It's good fun. Not. Yeah. Right, I've done the little pieces on one of them. Yeah, I'm getting on with it, aren't I? Getting on. It's been cold here. Oh, it has been cold. I don't do cold. I really don't do cold. I'm a wimp. I've decided. The older I've got, the more wimpy I've become. I don't do cold. Look what I've got. Orange. Terry's orange, but it's in a bar. Yeah. I don't do wind and I don't do cold. Cold isn't as bad as wind and cold, or wind, rain and cold. Now that is. Oh, it's all broken up. It's already broken up in segments for me. These people who say, oh, it's so hot. Oh, it's so hot over here. And I'm like, ugh. I don't know why I moved to Fleetwood. I really don't know. Being by the sea seemed like a good idea when we viewed the house, but it was a gorgeous, gorgeous sunny day. And when we moved in December, I'm like, why did we buy this house? At least now the house is windproofed. Yeah, I'm doing the second top. The first one's a bit paler. It definitely needs blocking. I can't show it very well. It needs blocking. But that's the first one. But if I make it again, I'm going to do it on a smaller hook and, change it. It's very open work. So now I've got the gist of how they're making it. My little wheels are whirring. But having said that, I bought loads and loads of cheap baby patterns off Etsy. So I'm going to be doing some of them. Oh, weird piece. Couldn't break that into segments, could you? I don't like dark chocolate. I know I should. It's better for you. I shouldn't be eating this, especially because I haven't got my injections, have I? I know. Got one in my drawer. I don't know why they don't do cream eggs all year round. I'm always upset when they take them off. When I know they're going, I go and buy boxes. I buy about 3 or 4 of the 12 boxes when I know they're going. So it lasts me till they come back on again. I love cream eggs. Yeah, loads of people don't. I don't like the caramel eggs. I'm not keen on them. Or caramel, as Americans always say. Every time I hear that, I go, eh, there's an A in it. It's caramel. It's not caramel. That's the one word that Americans say that bugs me no end. You got meatloaf in the oven, have you? Oh, yeah, aluminum. What is that? It's aluminium. Why do they leave bits out of it? Why can they not read caramel? Why do they say caramel? Yeah, aluminum gets me and caramel. That's the two words that really go when people say them. I watched Llama Mama Kayla, and she's got this box of K-cups or whatever, and nearly every other one of them has got caramel in them. And I'm going, please don't say caramel. Please don't say caramel. And she does. And she says it about 3 times, and I'm like, I don't like salted caramel. My daughter-in-law loves it. I bought some salted caramel ice cream. It was a good ice cream, one of them expensive ice creams. I didn't like it. She ate the rest. I think it was Ben and Jerry's or somebody's. But you have about a million zillion flavours of coffee and tea in America. We don't have them over here. We have some. Hello, Ephraim. How are you, darling? I was just saying about your mishap before with your wool. Yeah, I'll have to ring round all the other pharmacists to try and find anybody who's got my injections because they don't have them. They're not standard. They're a stronger prescription than most people get prescribed. And I'm not going back to him. I'll do without them first. I could have punched him. He's a supercilious so-and-so. They might be able to at that pharmacy, but I'm not going back. I just don't want to go in anymore. It's the same every time I go in, Connie. You have to wait and wait and wait and wait. And then they treat you like you're nobody. You're sitting there, sitting there, sitting there. Half an hour's nothing in there. They're so slow. Have you decided what you're going to do, Ephraim, with that wool? I was just saying before, Ephraim bought that yarn of red hearts that's supposed to not need a dye number. And when he crocheted it up, there was a real distinct difference between the two balls. And it sort of ruined the cardigan. I said he should complain, should get hold of Red Heart and say, it's a load of rubbish, you don't need a dye lot, it's all the same. But they should be made aware of it, Ephraim. Should be made aware. They might send you vouchers, to get some free wool. Free yarn, I should say. What are you doing, Snuffle Pig? What you doing, Snuffle Pig? She probably peed somewhere, but I don't care. I don't blame her for not wanting to go out. It's blowing a gale out there. You'll have peed somewhere, won't you, little girl? I'd rather mop up pee than take her outside. I'm not standing outside in the blooming wind and rain. Oh, I would really complain. I would really complain. Send them a very nasty email. If they don't respond, send them another one. Say, did you not get my last email? Oh, that is hopeless though, Ruth. They never have enough for anybody's prescriptions of anything. I'm not just talking about me. Nearly everybody that goes in there, it's like, oh, we owe you this, oh, we owe you that. You need to come back on Monday, we'll order it for you. And I'm like, surely when the prescription goes to them and they haven't got it in stock, they should order it then, not wait while you go in, have you waiting 3/4 of an hour and then tell you that they don't have it in stock. I've never had that at my other chemist, never. And if they didn't have it, they would say, come back in the afternoon and we'll have it for you this afternoon. You never made you wait like till Monday. They never have anything at that chemist. I felt like saying, have you got no drugs over that side or what? No, this is renowned for being useless, honestly. It is renowned. I'm changing anyway. I'm changing my doctor next week. I was just waiting to get my prescriptions to change my doctor. But it looks like I'll be changing my doctor and I still won't have got my prescription. So, yeah, I'm changing the chemist when I change the doctor, yeah. Because the new doctor uses a different chemist. My son goes to the other doctor I'm changing to. 10 days? Oh, God, Ruth. That's worse than mine. I'm used to top quality service. I will say that for Presswich. If it was a repeat prescription, when you went in, you said your name and it was there in a bag. Yeah. Ready, waiting for you. Admitted, if you got a prescription off the doctors and you went to the chemist, you'd have to wait, yeah? But that's what you normally have to do. But if it was a repeat prescription, it'd be ready in a bag. All you said was your name and you got it given to you. My argument is if they know it's a repeat prescription, they get it at the beginning of the week, say, my prescription would have gone in on the Tuesday. I go in on the Friday and they don't have it. You know, that just proves they don't look what's on order, do they? They don't look what's been ordered. It was ridiculous. They didn't have it on the Friday when it was ordered on the Tuesday. You know, to me, that's just sloppy. That's just bad management, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I never trust it when it says no dialogue. I never trust it. I mean, perhaps if you'd have picked it up, you would have seen there was a difference, you know, when you looked at the two balls, yeah. But if your daughter picked it up, she probably didn't notice, yeah. Oh, yeah, but with our postal service at the moment, Ethan, you know, you could get them next year. Yeah, Ethan should definitely go on and on to Red Heart because if they're advertising it as you don't need a dialogue, and it's spoilt his daughter's cardigan because it's different, completely different. I've seen a picture of it. It's completely different colours, yeah. Yeah, they won't let me order mine, Ruth. They won't let me order them unless I'm. It's like my injections. I put my ordinary prescription in last week, and they wouldn't let me order my injections because I had one left. You know, so I had to wait until I'd used that last one before I could put my order in. So I put my order in on the Tuesday, went to collect them on the Friday, and they didn't have it. Stupid. But that's just par for the course with that chemist. They're renowned for being absolutely useless. It's not that, it's his attitude. He's got a really horrible attitude, like, I said, well, you should have had it in. I said, you know I have it. You should have it in. And he's going, well, it's all big excuses. It's always, oh, the computer's not working properly, or this is not working properly. I thought, more likely, you don't look at the prescriptions and you don't order them. Oh, they were blaming COVID. Yeah, I mean, COVID's all over now. Now they're blaming a new system that they've got, but it's all done electronically. So if you, it's like, say for example, I had a wool shop and somebody put an order in on the Tuesday for some wool. I would look at that order on a Tuesday. I wouldn't wait until they came in and then look at the order and then say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've had you coming all this way and I haven't got any in stock." What way would that be to run a business? But you see, the trouble is they're not running a business, are they? They're just, it's all, they get paid no matter what, don't they? They're not, if they were running a business and it was all private and they had to earn their money, they'd do it. They'd have the things in stock, wouldn't they? But no, they get paid. It doesn't matter to them if they don't have it in stock. It's like, I'll come back Monday. Customer service is, I must admit, little private shops, if you go into little private shops, the customer service is still there. But you go into any big store these days and there's no customer service. You go into a big store and you're checking your stuff out at the supermarket checkout, and they're having a conversation, aren't they, between themselves about, oh, I went out on Saturday night. Yeah, got drunk. Yeah. This, that, and the other. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always get the cue that somebody's got something that's it won't scan, and they're going "Ooh," with it in the air. Ooh. They're pressing their button, but it's flashing and nobody comes. Yeah, you've put all your stuff on the belt, haven't you? So you don't feel like taking it all off again and going to the next. Oh, honestly, I always get that one. Or the one who gets the packet that's busted open. And they're going, I don't want that one. Can you get me another one? So she's, ooh, her arm in the air again. But there's one store here in Cleveland. Honest to God, the bloke there, he should never be in customer service. I've complained about him. He's the most miserable thing under the sun. He's absolutely miserable, and you get no help from him whatsoever. He just chucks everything down the thing like that. I mean, the girls, when they see, like, I'm handicapped in a way, they're going like, oh, I'll help you, I'll put the things in your bag for you, love, and all that. Oh, yeah, the chemist, he doesn't care. Honestly, he does not care. He's got the kind of face you want to slap, yeah? That's all I can say. I'm very good. I'm very good. I'm a good girl, me. I've only got 3 projects. I've never been one for bags full of projects. I don't know how people keep track. Bags and bags with projects in. Oh, this is a pair of socks. I do 2 rows on it. This is another pair of things. I'm doing 2 rows on that. And I'm like, oh, God. Or discussing, like I say, they're usually discussing the night out. You know. Oh, they're empty project bags. I've got a load of them in the shed, yeah. I had a thing where I was buying these gorgeous project bags, and I don't know why, because I never fill them. I used to always have one project bag that I used to call my hospital bag, because at one time I was practically living at the hospital, and every time I went, I'd be waiting. It was orthopedic, so every time I went, I'd be waiting about 2 hours, 3 hours. So I always had something like a virus shawl in a bag, something that I could do without thinking too much about it. So I always had my hospital project bag. There was always something in there, like a shawl. Some people have socks, don't they, in theirs? But mine was always, usually a virus shawl. But now I don't, I do go to the hospital, but I wish somebody in my family ever wanted anything that I made, yeah. But nobody ever does these days. And certainly my great grandchildren don't. They don't want anything. Oh, I go, Ruth, because I have a CPAP machine, so I have to go every so many months to have it checked. And it's got like a computerized reading. They check it to make sure everything's going okay. And I do see my diabetes nurse. I do see her. Well, I did. I'm changing doctors now, aren't I? But I never saw the actual doctor, and I never seen an actual. Oh, I did go for a hospital. Yes, I did. I'm telling a lie. I had a colonoscopy because I was so ill at the beginning of the year. I really thought something nasty was going on. I couldn't keep anything down, and I was just losing weight for fun. So I had a colonoscopy, which turned out to be fine. It turned out it must have been a bug of some description, but at the time I thought, my goodness, what have I got? I'm not usually dramatic, but I was beginning to wonder, because it went on so long and I couldn't keep anything down. So I did go. I did go to the hospital then, but I wasn't referred by the GP, funnily enough. I was referred by my diabetic nurse, which is a bit strange, really, isn't it? That you get referred by your diabetes nurse to go for a colonoscopy. Strange. Yeah, it tickles me when people in America go, oh, I've rung up my cardiologist or something, and I've got an appointment like tomorrow or something, and I'm like, what? The hospital, the nearest one I've got is Blackpool now, which is a bit of a crap hospital, to be quite truthful. I miss the hospitals in Manchester because I had a choice of 3 there, and they were all good. But I've only got Blackpool here, and it's not got a very good reputation, sad to say. Uh-huh. Why are you doing that, Janet? When you're supposed to be doing it on the right side and not the wrong side. Never mind, I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, they booked me in for I've had my diabetic. They're good. I will say that my doctor is pretty crap, but the diabetes nurses and stuff are good. They have always been absolutely good with me, which I'm hoping I'll get at the next doctor's. But I can't just stay with them just because the diabetic nurse is good. You know. Well, I went in with my doctor, as I think I told you. He was showing me the door, like as I was, you know, telling me that if I had any more problems, I had to make another appointment. And I'm like, hang on a minute, I wasn't asking you a load of problems, it was all related. The problems I was asking him about were all linked, if you know what I mean. But he said, I've answered your question. He said, he's showing me the door. He had the door open, showing me the door. He said, if you need any more, make another appointment. I thought, it took me blooming 2 years to get to see you. What do you mean, go and make another appointment? Joke, joke. Oh, yeah, they don't want to see us. If you've got problems now, Ruth, they don't want to see you. They want to just pick and choose, don't they, and cherry pick. If you're a nuisance patient, you just get shut of you, don't they? She's got too many problems. She's costing the NHS too much. Let's just shovel her off and hope she goes away and dies. Be one less to worry about, won't it? Honestly. I know you shouldn't feel like that, but you do. The pension people are telling you live too long. Oh, when we were going to do pensions, you see, we didn't realise people were going to live this long. How inconvenient of me. I'm living too long. Oh, inconvenient. Excuse me, but I've been working since I was 17 and paying in. I would just like to get something back. I got told by a lady who works at the NHS, said, do you realise how much it costs if you were to have private healthcare? It would cost you 1,000 and something a month. And I thought, yeah, well, right. I mean, there's many, many years when I've not needed any medical care. Many, many years when I never went to see a doctor. So I haven't exactly worn me welcome out, yeah. Admittedly, as you get older, you tend to want to go. In fact, I won't go. There's loads of things when people say to me, have you been to the doctors? I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? No point at all. I go to the doctors for my diabetes because I need to, and that's about it. Yeah. I need to go and see him about my orthopedics, but I don't want to because I can't be bothered. Hey, it's a life, isn't it, when you don't want to go places because you don't feel welcome. You watch these hospital and doctor programs on television, and they're all so nice, aren't they? Oh, come in, what's bothering you? I go in and they don't even care what's bothering me. So it's not like, oh, it's you again, because I don't go. I've been once in 2 years, yeah. What am I working on? I'm working on the second one of these. It's like a boho-y type little sweatery thing. But the one I'm working on now is in darker colours, yeah. That's what I'm working on, yeah. No, I think sometimes if you're a make yourself a nuisance, you might get more. I mean, I know somebody and she's a right scrounger. She has every ailment known to man and she's never away. And yet she gets everything, you know, carers, everything. You name it, she gets it all. And, she's not that bad. Trust me, she is not that bad. And you're like, oh, honestly. She's at the accidental emergency every time a little finger hurts. I haven't been there for years. I would have to be something dropping off if I went to accidental emergency. And get you see them in there, don't you? I've got earache or, my toenails hanging off or something like that. And you're like, what? It's for people with heart attacks, people with broken legs, isn't it? It's not for people with a sore toe. No, I think this person I'm talking about, I think she's been to A&E about 5 times since I've known her, since I've been here. Yeah. Hi, Lydia. I haven't been once. I think the last time I went was about 10 years ago. And I only went because I went to the walk-in centre and they told me I had to go to hospital. They couldn't deal with it. I had to go to hospital. That's the only reason why I went there. Because they wouldn't deal with it at walk-in centre. They said, no, you need the hospital. Right, okie dokie. They actually wanted to call an ambulance for me, but I was on my scooter. So I said, no, I've got to go home first. I've got to take my scooter home first. I'm nowhere near with my campfire cardigan. It's stopped dead. I don't usually put buttons on mine, no, Lydia, no. Yeah, I can understand why they do, because you can't get an appointment for the doctor to come lovely money. But there are walk-in centres, you can go to a walk-in centre. Oh, you're back again, Rick, are you watching the football? All I can hear is the wind. It's thundering down the chimney. That's all I can hear. Rolling down the street outside. It sounds horrible. There's one thing about my bedroom, it's sort of like sandwiched in between two rooms, so I don't hear the wind. I don't hear the wind. Right, that's one side linked together. One side linked together. Oh, I know. People are getting leaks that have never had leaks before, aren't they? When the wind blows in a certain direction. I had a bay window like that. It took us ages to find the leak. It was only when the wind blew in a certain direction it used to blow underneath and come through like a waterfall. I used to have to get up in the night and find buckets and bath towels and everything. And then I'd get somebody out to it and he'd say, where's it leaking? I can't see anywhere where it's leaking. And I thought, you have to be here. You have to be here when it's leaking. Otherwise you wouldn't know. But I had it fixed. I had a slope put on it. It was flat like that, so I had a slope put on it. And after that, it's been, well, touch wood. I've left now, haven't I? But it never rained in after that. So I don't think it will. It was a problem on the whole estate, flat roofs on the bay. Oh, dear. I wouldn't know who's who, Lydia. I wouldn't know who's who. Oh, I've lost my painkillers are not on my repeats anymore. They took them off my repeats, my cocodamol. Didn't ask me, they didn't say. They just took them off me. We're trying to wean you off them. Can you go to a pain management clinic? I said, I'm sorry, but I don't think talking about my pain will work. I have serious spinal problems with an operation on them. So I don't think talking about my pain will make it go away. Distraction methods, they said to me when I went to pain management clinic. When your spine is crumbling and falling apart, I'm sorry, but a distraction doesn't work. You cannot say, right, I'm going to talk myself out of this today. I'm not going to have any pain because I'm talking myself out of it. I went a couple of times and they agreed that. They said, no, we don't think it'll work for you. They put me on injections and they worked for a while, but now they've stopped them. They don't do them anymore, costing the NHS too much money, you see. That was the problem. They tried to say it was because it wasn't doing you any good, but it wasn't. It was all to do with medical costs. The doctors I'm signing up for, right at the top of the form, it says if you're on like tranquilizers and stuff like that, um, they don't prescribe them willy nilly, more or less. You have to be assessed, and I'm thinking, well, I don't take them anyway. That's one thing I don't take, but I do want my pain meds back. Water intrusion. They have fancy names for everything, don't they? You can't call them dustbin men anymore, can you? It's like refuse something disposal or whatever. We've got one lovely little bloke. Yeah, I only had 3 injections on my spine. That was it. End of story. But they don't tell you. They just don't send you for any more. And when you ask, you get told they don't do them anymore. So when I said, what else is there? They said, oh, you have to go back on your pain meds. So I went, well, I don't really want to, but guess I'm going to have to. Yeah, my friend in Scotland, Sue, she can get them. She can get her injections up there. Different health service in Scotland. So I think it is to do with money, and not the fact you can only have 3. Because if she can have them in Scotland, why can't we have them in England? Same people, same injection. Yeah, the pain issue. I just live with it now, Lydia. No good of whining and moaning. It doesn't do any good. You know, you'd soon lose friends, wouldn't you? If you sat there going, all day long. You'd soon find you were on your own. You wouldn't have many friends. Occasionally, when it's really bad, I might move and go, you know, but apart from that, my friends can always tell. They say they can see it in my face. They always say, you're having a bad day, aren't you? And I go, yeah. And they say, yeah, we can see it in your face. I look in the mirror and I can't see it in my face, but they can. They can see it in their face or something. So I don't know. Maybe I grimace or something. Maybe I pull a funny face or something. I always vowed I wouldn't be like my mum. My mum had the same issue as me because it's hereditary. And every time she moved, it was like, ah. And I always thought, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to keep it to myself. Yeah. My friend used to say, "Why do you go?" I said, "Would you rather I shouted out loud, or would you rather I went?" I've had my spinal up. I can't have another one. They can't operate on me again. I had it. I was glad I had it done. Really glad I had it done, Ruth, because otherwise I would have been in a wheelchair by now. But I can't have it done again. It's been done now. That's it. End of story. I'm waiting while they do 3D printouts. You can have a plastic spine put in. Can you imagine having a whole new 3D printed spine? Yeah, I'm sure they'd make it over here from they'd probably get stopped at customs. Oh dear. It's supposed to be, if you could get the proper CBD oil, which we cannot get in the UK, I believe it does help. But we get that pity patty stuff. We get the one that they take out, whatever it is. There's something that they take out of it over here. Um, so we can't have them unless you buy it on the street corner, of course. But I wish they would legalise it, but on prescription. But of course, not at my pharmacy because I would never get them there, would I? Yeah, the proper cannabis tablets or oil or something that you cannot get. The CBD oil. You need the whole lot of it, which we cannot get in England. I mean, it's sad because there's some little kiddies who've got terribly bad epilepsy and stuff like that, and they're actually prescribed it, but they can't get it because the laws in England. Yeah, yeah, that's all they give me, cocodamol. They did give me amitriptyline one time, but I couldn't take it. It sent me blooming loopy. Cocodamol. Amitriptyline sent me loopy. Yeah, I've still got it, Jill. It's not got much left in it. It's got a little smidgy left in the bottom. Yeah, a little smidgy tin left in the bottom. That's what I've got. I put it on tonight because my neck was hurting tonight. I think it's because I've been crocheting or knitting and putting my head down. But it's hard. You can't exactly crochet with your crochet up in the air, can you? You've got to put your head down to crochet. It's like that with reading. I like reading, but when I'm reading, it gives me such neck ache. I could do it like a music stand, you know what I mean? With up here, we could read. You have to laugh, don't you? Otherwise, you'd cry. And I don't feel like crying, so I have to laugh about it. Otherwise, like I say, I'd lose me. I've already lost 5 subscribers this week. I don't want to lose any more. I don't want to be known as Whingy Annie. Oh, well, one dog's asleep here. I don't know where the other one is. I actually had morphine patches, but I'm sure they must have been placebos because they didn't do anything. I didn't even feel any lessening of the pain. I had them stuck on my arm. And at the end, I said to her, "What are you giving me these for? They're rubbish. They're no good at all." I mean, you would think a morphine patch would work, wouldn't you? But it didn't on me. As I say, I think they gave me placebos. I don't think they gave me. Oh, God, yeah, you don't send anything like that, Joe. You'd sniff it out at the board. Then you get in trouble and I get in trouble. We'd all get in trouble. The dogs would get high. No, it's just bad over here that people who absolutely need it, like these poor kids who are having seizures after seizures, and they know. And same with Parkinson's, they know it works for Parkinson's, and yet they're so bloody stubborn over here. Yeah, you can go on a street corner and get it on any street corner. I mean, a guy across the road from me actually used to sell it when I lived in Prestwich, but I would never ask him. You know, he used to say, go and ask him across the road and he'll have it. That's when I don't smoke it. Oh, gosh. You actually get more benefits over here, I believe, if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic. You get more money. I think that's wrong. Yeah, I know people are addicted to drugs and stuff like that, but by and large, it's their own fault they're addicted to drugs, isn't it? And that anybody who's got spinal issues, it's not their own fault, is it? Mariners, I haven't even tried, Ethan. I haven't even tried. I know they've gone, haven't they? So I don't know whether anybody's got any left in stock. You'd probably find it on eBay at exorbitant prices because anybody who's got any of it now going, whoo, could sell it for millions of dollars, yeah. I don't think I've ever had any Mariners. I don't think I've ever bought any. I know I haven't got any in the shed. It's not a brand I used to buy. I'm trying not to buy anything at the moment, Ethan. Mariners, it's a brand of wool that's now gone because they've gone into liquidation or something like that. I think nothing's ever UK brand, is it, these days? It's all made in Turkey or somewhere. Oh, I've got hiccups now. But like everything else, they've gone into liquidation. Is it made in China? Everything's made somewhere, isn't it? That wool I'm knitting with at the moment, I've had it in my shed that long, it's actually made in Yorkshire. And I'm like, whoa! Made in Yorkshire. So, whoa, gold dust. Gold dust, it's made in Yorkshire. So rare you get that. It isn't Yorkshire Spinners, actually. It's, I think it's Peyton's, actually. Peyton's Trentino or something. Oh, Mariner's not a drug, no. It could be like Fisherman's Friend, couldn't it, Mariners? Something that you take for a cough. That's the only industry we've got here in Fleetwood is Fisherman's Friend. All the fishing and the sea and everything's gone now. That's why it's such a deprived area. There's no industry whatsoever. That's why everybody's on their uppers over here. Shops are rubbish. If you say anything, people will say, oh, don't be awful. People who are born here. Don't be awful. It's no worse than anywhere else. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is downbeat, down market, and a load of, yeah. When every other shop's a cheap shop or a charity shop, the place is in trouble, don't you? Hi, Judy. Right, I've done the body work. It's inside out, but I've done the little body bit. I've made this one a bit bigger, yeah. Now to start the sleeves. I'm not doing the sleeves like the pattern says. The pattern says you have to go pick up round here and go down and do them in the round. I thought, nah, not doing that. Not doing that. Right, so I've got to finish up with lilac. So I've got to do purple. Purple, grey, and lilac, right? Hey, I have to do everything different. You know me, I never do a pattern all the way through. If I don't understand what people are saying, I think, no, I'm not doing that. Back to organising. Right, when will I see you, Jill? When are you coming round, love? I want you in my shed. Open a whoosh. Oh gosh, I couldn't do it, Ephraim. I just couldn't. I can't stand or sit long enough to do anything like that. If I did, if I could, I wouldn't open a wool shop, but I would open some kind of a pop-up shop or something. Oh, you're a lot younger than me, Jill. When you get my age, you just start thinking about no, no, not on your life. No, no, no. 10, 11, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26. Oh, I mean, yeah, everybody who lives far away would come and help me, Jill. I mean, Sue would if she wasn't in Scotland. Sue would come and help me, but she's in Scotland, so she can't do it now. You'd have to bring your tiny house with you, Shad, because I've got nowhere for anybody to stay. I've got no spare rooms. Where I lived before, I would have had a spare bedroom, but not here anymore. Oh dear. Anybody else hate doing the first row? When you're trying to do single crochet into a chain. I should do that. What do you call it? Shouldn't I? That FDC or something. You probably could round here, Jill, actually, because, you know, it's a seaside town. Albeit deprived, it is. All right, Lydia, thank you. I shall have a look later. You'd have to float it. You'd have to come by sea then because Jill can't fly. I couldn't fly to America now, Jill. I couldn't. I couldn't do that long flight. I'd be walking up and down the aisle. I couldn't sit still, long enough. Because when I'm sat here, I keep moving about and moving my legs about. I couldn't, they cramp your space up even more on these long old flights. You can't get room to stretch your legs unless you go business class, which of course nobody can afford, unless you're a rock star or a business person. I dread to think how much that costs in business class. They call it business class now, don't they? Not first class. You'd sleep in the shed. It's a bit cold in there at the minute, Ethan. Ah, yes. Yeah, it's not very warm here and it's blowing a gale. I can hear it outside. I'm glad I'm in. That's all I can hear is the wind howling up and down the street. It sounds like, the soundtrack to one of those horror movies, where they have that ooh. And of course, it's blowing down the chimney. It's blown the fire out, so the fire's gone out. Must remember to turn the heating down when I go to bed. Otherwise, I'll be too hot. Oh, I couldn't do a long flight anymore. People who go to Australia and places like that. I couldn't do that anymore. I have poor circulation at the best of times. I think I'd just about make it to Spain. Although I don't have a passport. They've gone up to 80 something pound for a passport. I don't have ID, and at the bank they said to me, well, get a driver's license. I said, I can't, I don't drive anymore. I said, I've let my driver's license go. Well, get a passport. I said, well, why should I pay 80 odd pound for a passport just so that I can have ID to draw out my own money out of your bank? Well, you need ID. I said, well, why? I don't need ID. I know who I am. But I am definitely not paying £85 for a passport when I'm not going anywhere just so I can have some ID. Hmm. Ooh. It does sound like a B movie outside. I know now where they get this. A citizen's card. I wish we did those other cards, those ID cards that everybody poo-pooed and said they didn't want them. Oh, I wouldn't go anywhere for. I went abroad once just for a week, and that was bad enough. I didn't get jet lag because I only went on the continent, but it was hardly worth it. By the time I got there, it was time to come back. Yeah. I think if you're going abroad, you should go for at least 2 weeks. Oh, hang on, my leg's gone. Cramp. Oh, do you ever get that Charlie horse? Oh, that hurt. That hurt. My ex used to jump out of bed and go round the bedroom, and I used to think, what's wrong with him? But then, of course, I didn't have cramp then. I get cramp now. Something to do with salts, isn't it? I've lost my bottle opener. I've lost my bottle opener. I don't know where it's gone. Ah, there it is. My little fishy wishy. When I fly, my ears pop. I don't know what anybody else's do. And then I can't hear anything for about 2 days. And I'm like that, trying to make my ears pop. It's raining now. I haven't, no. I've only just started getting cramps, actually. It's usually when I'm in bed. I usually get them in my calves, but today it's got between my knee and my bum. That muscle there, it's got a cramp. Oh, it'll pass. I won't die. It'll pass. Well, my ex-husband used to get cramp all the time when he was in bed. He used to be leaping out and running around the bedroom. I'm going, what the hell? Middle of the night, jumping up, frightening me to death. What's wrong with you? I've got cramp. Oh. But I never knew how painful it could be until I started getting them myself. I didn't know what it was at first. The first one I got was about 12 months ago. I didn't know it was cramp. I didn't know because I'd never had cramp. It's not as if I'm exactly athletic, you know. I'm not exactly Mrs. Athletic. Oh, that wind. That wind is dreadful. I've got to sleep with Poppy. No, I haven't got to sleep with Poppy. Poppy's passed away. I've got to sleep with Trixie tonight. That should be a joy. I'll probably finish up in the chair. She snores like she's a massive big boxer dog. My Buster didn't snore as loud as she does. And she will come and sleep up here by your ear. Oh, dear God. I tell you, my boxer dog didn't snore that bad. And he could snore with the best, yeah. My son snores. Oh, my giddy aunt, does he snore? He falls asleep without his CPAP on. I said to my daughter, I said, how do you stand that? I said, but he's you're trying to watch the telly. And he's snoring his head off. I said, I'd have to poke him. Go to bed, go to bed. I said, I couldn't live with that. I don't know how she does. I'd have to wake him up. When he lived at home and he used to start snoring, I used to have to poke him. Go to bed. And he'd go, what? Mind, I used to snore something terrible before I went on my CPAP machine. I had all these operations, I think I told you. I had my throat lasered, I had my tonsils took out, I had my uvula removed, I had everything done. And then they finished up. I still needed a CPAP machine. I didn't need to have done all those ops. But they removed everything but the kitchen sink. And I still snored. I once had a boyfriend and I thought everything was going fine. Until we got to the stage where he slept overnight, yeah. I woke up to a note on my pillow saying, sorry, Jan, I've had to leave. And I never saw him again. His snoring was that bad. He said, I've had to leave. So I woke up on my own, he'd gone. Bye, Lydia. I won't say go Niners because I haven't got a clue which team is which. So I don't want to upset anybody by calling out the wrong team. I think my fire's gone out. I can't see any red. It does glow though, for ages. The other day I came in and it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I went to move the ashes, as you do, to clean the fire out. And they were still glowing. You wouldn't have thought they would have still been glowing because I hadn't put any coal on it from about 9 o'clock the night before, and it was still glowing. Soon as I wake up, every night, every day. See, I'm going to give somebody an earworm now. It might be Chris. I know that it's you. Take the blues away. Must be love, love, love. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, I'm going to yawn. And it's not even midnight. There's a lot of songs that I love. My most favourite one of all, I think, is Black. It's a Wonderful Life, yeah. No need to run and hide. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. I love that song. One of my favourites. That and Disturbed. What does he sing now? He sings one of Simon and Garfunkel's, doesn't he? Disturbed. I think it's brilliant, that Disturbed one. I'm sure Chris will know which one I mean. I know it's a Simon and Garfunkel one, but I forgot which one it is at the moment. Is that the one by Elton John, your song? Yeah, and I've got a few like favourites. Like I say, the one is Black, one is that one by Disturbed. Another one is one by the Backstreet Boys. I like quite a few of the Backstreet Boys, yeah. And Boyzone, funny enough, you wouldn't think I'd be the right age group for Boyzone, would you? But I do. I like quite a few by Boyzone. Can't beat the old ones, yeah. I don't like many of the modern ones. I like Sia as well. I don't know if you've ever heard of her, Sia. My son sort of introduced me to her. She's the one who wears a fringe over her face, yeah. She's got a weird voice, but The Sound of Silence, that's the one. Sound of Silence by Disturbed. Not by Simon and Garfunkel. Got to be by Disturbed. Oh, Adele, I can't be doing with her. I've never liked her, even though when everybody going mad about her. I've never bought anything of hers. I've never really wanted to. I know she's not a bad singer, but I just don't know. I wasn't altogether a boy band fan. I just like Backstreet Boys and I like Boyzone. I don't like a lot of the others. No, but I never thought I'd like Sia, but I do. I like certain songs by certain people. You know, I used to like some of the quieter ones by the rock bands, yeah. I didn't really like Take That. I might have liked a few with Westlife, but I don't know. I don't think I was a fan of Take That, really. Maybe Westlife, I think. Maybe. But I'm weird, like you see. I mean, I like Il Divo, which is kind of um, more opera, isn't it? Yeah, I love Il Divo, and I like Andrea Bocelli. You know, so they're like not boy bands, are they, or anything like that? The dogs are telling you it's bedtime. Yeah, my dog's probably peed somewhere or worse, but I don't care. I'm not going looking at the moment. I'll look when it's time for bed, and I'll let them out if they'll go. But if she thinks I'm going out there with them, my daughter-in-law said, you have to go out with them. Otherwise, they won't do it. I thought, well, they won't be doing it because I'm not going out. Gary Barlow, I didn't mind him when he was doing those during COVID. when he was doing those duets with different people, Gary Barlow. Hello, Marva. Not doing so bad. It's a bit windy over here, but apart from that, I'm not doing bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got another row to do. It's as windy can be here. I mean, there's some people I've never liked, really. I've never really been a fan of Elvis or Cliff Richard or anybody like that. I've never really been a fan of those. Everybody raves over Elvis, and I can take him or leave him. Yeah, some of his songs are okay, but I've never been a big Elvis fan. When I was growing up, it was the Everly Brothers for me. I don't know why, but it was the Everly Brothers. I saw every show that they ever did in the UK, well, in Manchester anyway. Have I met anybody famous? Tony Christie. Oh God, Les Dawson. Les Dawson. I've met. I met some other famous people, but they weren't singers. They were, you know, sports commentators, etc., etc. I met all the Shiwaddy Waddy. I'm just trying to think who else I've met. I met Susan Morn. I met Lulu. But I didn't meet Lulu. I only met Lulu in passing, if you know what I mean. We were on the same street at the same time, let's just say. Apart from that, oh, and I met Jack Nicholson. I had a conversation with Jack Nicholson outside of the premiere of that show, Annie. Was it called Annie? Yeah. I met Jack Nicholson. I was having a conversation with him, actually. We'd just come back from Greece, actually. And I had a rucksack on my back, and I had a bottle of spirits in either side of the rucksack. And he was coming out of Annie, the premiere of Annie. And he stopped dead in his tracks and he said, "That's what I like to see." And I was looking at him and he said, "Well balanced rucksack," because I had a bottle on either side. Oh dear. Yeah, well balanced rucksack. My ex-husband saying, "What's he talking to you? What was he talking to you about? What was he saying to you?" I said he wasn't chatting me up. I said he was after my rucksack. He was after the booze that was in my rucksack. Yeah, we were on our way back from Skiathos. We'd been through duty free, and we had a few hours in London, and we saw all these Rolls Royces and everything going past us. And I said to my ex, I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Let's go and have a look." And we turned this corner, and it was a theatre there, and it was, like I say, the opening night for Annie, and there was all these celebs getting into cars and that. I couldn't tell you who they all were. They were all dressed up in glamorous evening dresses and stuff like that. I sort of knew who they were, but I didn't know who they were. But I did recognise. He's very small. He's very tiny, Jack Nicholson. He's shorter than me. He's a tiny little thing. I was amazed how small he was. And he was absolutely plastered in makeup, he was. Oh, I've met Rod Stewart, yeah, before he was famous, long before he was famous. Long John Baldry and Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart must have been a teenager at the time and he was absolutely full of acne and pimples. Oh, and he was covered in makeup as well. I don't know. He was after me booze, Jack Nicholson, so he was quite pleasant to me, but then I wasn't working with him, was he? Oh God, he was only a teenager when I seen him, Denise, and well, a teenager, about 20 or something, but he was absolutely covered in spots. He was you wouldn't have liked him back then. His skin was dreadful. How's my sweater? Oh, it's stopped. My knitting hasn't done anything since last week. It's still about 5 inches long. That's about it. It's just stopped. I thought I was going to enjoy knitting, but it didn't last long. My knitting phase didn't last long. Maybe I shouldn't have picked something with so many cables. Maybe I would have been better if I'd have picked something a bit plainer. Maybe I'll take it with me if I go to the library on Monday. If it's not raining too hard and if I can get my injections. What am I crocheting? I'm crocheting another one of these little baby boho sweatery things. But I'm doing this one in darker colours. Now, I think I told you before, I actually got hooked up on Tony Christie. I got my loopy jacket fastened onto his cufflink as he was walking past me. He sort of put his arm on my shoulder to pass me by because it was quite crowded. And he got stuck mid jumper. He was very patient. He was lovely. And he smelled gorgeous. I don't know what aftershave he had on, but I was like, and he was very good looking back in the day. Very good looking. That's what I'm doing now. But the printing's come out wrong. It's supposed to be red in the middle, then yellow, and then red round the edges. But the printer's gone a bit on the fritz, so. Oh, the wool. I'll do it eventually, Ephraim. I really will. If I had any mariner wool, I would send it you, dear, but I don't. I don't have any mariner. Because I'm winding down in my shed. I'm actually getting rid of some stuff. But the ones that people want, I'm not getting rid of. People, oh, we've got the ice. You know, that rainbow ice. I'm like, no, no, that's not good. No, no. Other things, but not the ice. I will finish it, I know. That I will finish it, but I love the pattern. It's a vintage pattern. It's all, did you see it? It's all cables. Cables and twist stitches it is. I made it first of all in lilac and I absolutely adored it. And I think if it had been in lilac, I'd have been more interested. But all I had in the shed was this sort of like a jadey green colour. And that didn't enamour me really. I mean, it'll be nice when it's done. I need to make some sweaters because when my new trousers arrive, I've sent for 2 pairs of trousers, they're like patchwork. One pair's in like a woolly, like wintry, and the other pair's in the summery, it's like cotton, but they're patchwork. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Long time no see. How have you been? You like knitting arrows and cables, yeah. I'll have to send you a copy of. It's a vintage pattern, but I could send you a copy of it, even though I'm not supposed to do that, and I wouldn't do it for anybody. You've been great. I'm glad to hear that, Brandon. How are you doing? How's everybody in the family? How's your little sister? And your pest of a brother? He had a little brother that used to bug him to death, didn't you, Brandon? He's probably grown up a bit, though, now. Is he not such a pain in the neck anymore, your little brother? Has he matured? Brandon used to do videos a long, long time ago, and his little brother used to be an absolute pain. He'd interrupt him all the time he was trying to make a video. He was a little monkey. He's probably a teenager by now, isn't it? Probably a teenager. Yeah, Brandon's not been on for a bit. Isaac's not been on today, has he? Either. I'm trying to find out. I sewn this sleeve up now. I can't find out when I increased. Right, I increased then. And I did 2 more. Then I increased again. That's the trouble when you sew it up. You can't see where you've increased once you sew the sleeves up, can you? Yeah, your little sister will be growing up now, won't you? She's not a baby anymore. You don't see people for ages and you say, how's your baby sister? And they sound like she's 12 or something, you know. You go, huh? It's like my friend's little boy. I used to um, take him to nursery school and that, my friend's little boy, and he's 28. And I'm like, you what? Michael's 28. How did he get to be that big? How did he grow up so fast? I've known him since he was about 2. My eldest great granddaughter, she's 17 now. And I'm like, 17? Joe's 28. Your boys are growing up, aren't they, Nathan, as well? I think of them as being tiny little things, and yet the teenagers now near enough, aren't they, your boys? You're 20 this year. You're growing up fast as well, Brandon. Yeah. Are you saving up for a place of your own now? Or are you going to be like my son? He stayed with me till he was nearly 30. Couldn't get rid of him. I think I made him too comfy at home. Some people leave the nest really early, don't they? Other people never go at all. Both of my nieces left the nest very early because they both went to university. And I think going to university breaks you because you leave home, don't you, to go to uni. So then you never want to go back again. But I never went to university, yeah. Yeah, I'm back with him again, yeah. Man, it's not the same. He's not like living with me anymore. He used to keep coming back. Every time he left me, he came back again. Couldn't get rid of him. But when he came back, he brought a wife, you know. I'm like, whoa, you're supposed to have left, son. You don't come back and bring a wife with you. But hey ho, it's all right on the night, I suppose. We have our little moments, but by and large, you know, he's upstairs, I'm downstairs, so It's like sharing, yeah, sharing a house more like it, rather than, living together. Because I could never do it. I did it with my son and daughter-in-law when we only had the one lounge, and it was awful because we didn't watch the same TV programs, and every time it was something that I wanted to watch, they had to go upstairs. Well, they didn't have to, but they did because they didn't want to watch what I was watching, and it just made a very awkward atmosphere. But now they've got their own TV and lounge upstairs, so we don't um, we don't cross over anymore. I watch what I want to watch downstairs on the telly, and they watch what they want to watch upstairs on the telly. So, I mean, once it gets summer, they'll put the TV back on in the conservatory. They turn it off at the moment because nobody was using it, and they're trying to conserve the electric, so they turned it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more round. So we don't have the telly on in the conservatory at the moment, so I couldn't go in there and watch it if I wanted, yeah. But they'll turn it back on in the summer because that's where they go. They sit in the conservatory with the dogs in the summer. Or if they're not in, I do, yeah. It's nicer in the conservatory. Oh, cream and chicken and rice. You can't be having the chicken, can you? Thought you didn't eat meat. Or is that for Mr. Floozy? Or Mr. Fibre, I should say, not Mr. Floozy. No, it's not bad actually, Nathan, because we've got a proper roof on it. We haven't got a glass roof on the conservatory. We've got a proper one of those roofs that keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. You're in transition. You're trying a bit of chicken, are you? Right? My brother was sort of a vegetarian, but he would eat a little bit of chicken and he would eat fish. Yeah, you find that some of them are ready to go, don't you, Denise? And they'll stay with you forever. I thought my son was never going to leave me. He was 30 before he left. Oh, you've come off the wagon, have you? Right. I eat a lot of vegetables and I eat a lot of things that are not meat, but I wouldn't say I was vegetarian. Although I do like vegetable things, vegetable dishes, I don't mind them. But I don't think I could be altogether vegetarian, no. But I try not to eat red meat much. It's usually chicken or fish if I eat anything. I want to finish this sleeve off before I go to bed. I've got a quarter of an hour to finish it. I'll leave the other sleeve till tomorrow. Oh, I couldn't go vegan, no, not with. My daughter-in-law does the cooking anyway. But we don't eat a lot of red meat, I must admit, as a family, we don't. We do eat certain things, we'll eat some things with mince, because we're economising at the moment. So we do eat shepherd's pie and things like that. But we're not big meat eaters, yeah. Oh, meat's expensive, yeah. The only thing I would have liked at Christmas was a leg of lamb. But I know they are, expensive, yeah. Leg of lamb, I would have loved a leg of lamb at Christmas. I don't know why, it's because we haven't had any for, can't remember when. I would have just fancied. They like ham here a lot, and I don't. I don't really eat ham. I'm not keen. It's too salty for me. I absolutely love fish. Really love fish. We don't eat enough of it. Well, I don't think we do. When I go back to Prestwich, I am definitely going to Berry Market and I am getting a load of fish and bringing it back and putting it in the freezer. And if they don't like it, then tough bunnies because I'm going to eat it. You would think there'd be loads of fish, wouldn't you, here, with it being Fleetwood, but it isn't. Yeah, food's expensive. That's why I want to go to Berry Market, because it's a really good value place, Berry Market. You can get fish there a lot cheaper than the supermarkets, yeah. And I just love my fish. Not salmon, I'm not keen on salmon. And I don't like smoked fish. Don't like kippers or anything like that. Chickpea burger. Do you know, I've never really eaten chickpeas, really. I've eaten lentils. I used to make, is it called dal? You know, that you make it with lentils, yeah? Yeah, I used to like dal. You think it make it with onions, don't you, and red lentils, I think, if I remember rightly. I haven't made it for years. I like soups, though. I like, carrots and spotted soup, and I like potato and leek soup. Vegetable soups. I love anything like that. We don't. I used to use my soup maker an awful lot. Yeah, I used to make a lot of vegetable soups. Sometimes I'd have like the broth, from when I'd had chicken. I'd boil the bones like and get the broth to use as the base for a vegetable soup. But yeah, I used to love. I used to live on homemade soup. We don't make it here. My daughter-in-law does a lot of slow cooking here. It's usually some kind of a stew or some description or other. I don't like anything spicy. That's me. I just don't. That's why I'd rather have a soup or something homemade. I should start making it myself and just say, right, I'm having some vegetables and stuff. We don't have a pressure cooker anymore. They used to scare me to death anyway. I have a soup maker where you put everything in and it makes enough soup for about 3 bowls. And I used to love that. I used to make carrot soup. Tell you what, I love carrot juice, and you can't seem to get it over here. And I love tomato juice as well, and you can't get that over here. It used to impress me, actually. I don't know why, but they don't seem to sell it over here. I love carrot juice. I know you're not supposed to drink too much of it because, oh, hello, police shut City Centre Road near Manchester Piccadilly Station. What's happened now? Somebody stabbed somebody or what again? God, Manchester's going worse. The only vegetable I don't like is it okra. I don't like okra. I just don't like okra. People go, oh, it's lovely okra. I don't like okra. I don't like avocados. And I don't like pineapples. And I don't like nuts of any description. I'm not allergic to them. I just don't like nuts. Every time I'm watching something on television, then they say, oh, we scatter pine nuts. And I'm going, no, you don't scatter pine nuts. Leave the pine nuts off it. Don't want pine nuts on it. It's like all these, this is a new muesli. It's always got nuts in it of some description. Oh, God, the UK is getting worse with stabbings. We don't have as many shootings, but stabbings? Don't know what's got into everybody. Everybody's stabbing everybody else. What is wrong with them all? Oh no, I once bought avocados. Everybody's going, oh, avocados with a poached egg on top. Fantastic. It's like greasy to me, avocado. We've got a juicer somewhere. I must find it and make myself some carrot juice. I love carrot juice. The West Indians make it with like evaporated milk of some description. It's kind of very sweet when they make the carrot juice. Sure, they put evaporated milk in. Oh, I don't like okra. No. And I like most things like seafood, although I'm allergic to some of them. But I don't like squid and, octopus and stuff like that. Don't like that. It put me off when we went to Greece and they were battering this octopus on the doorstep. One of the cafes. We're doing that to tenderise it. I thought, I don't want it when you've smashed it all over the doorstep. Thank you. The Boho Children's Park, and I found it. I saw it first of all on Facebook, and then I found it. It's Nana's Little Boho Sweater. It's a paid for one, but I think if you type that in somewhere, Nana's Little Boho Sweater, it's called. As I say, I found it on Nana's Crochet Creations by D. Maunz, Maunz. May not be distributed or part of anything. Objects made from this pattern are not subject to something or other. Well, tough bunnies because I sell them if I can. Lobster, I don't mind, but I can't be bothered, cracking them open and getting all the bits out of them. I don't mind if it's tin lobster or if somebody's already shed it, yeah. It's supposed to be good fat, though, isn't it, Nathan? Avocados. I just don't like them. Yeah, well, it was. I'm going back when I went to Greece. There was no tourists in this little bit where I used to go. There wasn't any tourists. It was long before they ever had an airport, anything. The only way in and out of there was the ferry. So they never saw tourists because there was no hotels, there was nothing. We were there on a flotilla, we were sailing. So it was just Greek restaurants for Greek people. So I suppose they were battering it on the doorstep. That was what they always did. It kind of put me off. They were tenderising it, so they said. I always remember the butchers there. Everything was hanging up on, hooks. And he had this wooden block that was like absolutely blood-stained and horrible, and he was battering the life out of something. And I remember thinking, I'm not buying any of that meat. It was the way that we went back years later to Skiathos, and it wasn't like that at all. They had supermarkets and shops and everything. But back then, the only shops that they had were for the locals, yeah. So it was really hard to go in and get some eggs or get something, because they didn't speak any English. They were just like, we didn't speak any Greek. So it was a little bit like point and hope for the best. Telling them how many eggs you wanted, you just held up like 6 fingers. Oh, it was a big wooden chopping board. It was like round, yeah. Oh, is that the one, Jill? Yeah, Crochet by Nana. I know it was on a Facebook page. I saw it. And as I say, it's supposed to be yellow and gold and green, but my printer's gone a bit weird. It's only printing green. Yeah, is that the Facebook? Yeah, but you can get it from the. I bought it from, but I think she's a bit cheeky asking for money for the hat as well. I mean, the hat's not got much to it really, and she's asking for. I think it's about £3 for the hat pattern. I think it was about £3 for the sweater and £3 for the hat, which I wouldn't have bought the hat if I knew how little the instructions were. But you know me, Dumbo. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's the one you don't like. What, the Crochet by Nana? I must admit, this pattern is badly written. It's badly written. I wouldn't plug it for anybody to go and buy it because it's not written right at all. I've had to, you know, jiggly pokery about because I'm like, what the heck's she on about? It's not easy to follow at all. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, as I say, I wouldn't recommend this pattern to anybody really. Although somebody's just asked me where it is, but I hope they're prepared to tangle with it if they buy it. Well, I wouldn't say I would recommend this pattern to anybody, actually, Jill, because it's not very good. It's not well written. I don't know the woman, so I can't say anything about her personally, but she doesn't write very good patterns. I just bought it because I like the look of it, but I've managed to fathom it out because you know me, I'll sort anything out. But I was like scratching my head in a couple of places thinking, what on earth does she mean? And I mean, I'm not dumb. I can usually manage to fathom things out, but this pattern was. I mean, I bought a headband pattern off Etsy, and it wasn't cheap. It was about £4 or something, and it was all wrong. And she keeps sending me messages saying, you know, would I leave like stars for it or something? And I thought, no, I won't. I don't want to be rude and say, you know, your pattern's completely up the wall. How do I store my makes, the ones I keep for myself? They're all shoved in the wardrobe. They do need sorting out. My wardrobe is at the top, and I sort of have to throw them up because I can't reach. I always had a special place in my other house. I had like shelving units where I could put everything. Here, I've got storage, but it's above my wardrobes, it's above my head height, so I can't get up there. And I'm scared to death on a ladder, so I tend to roll them in a ball and lob them up and hope they stay there. So it's not really ideal. The ones I've made that I'm not keeping for myself are in the shed, which I haven't been out there, as you know. I went out to look for some um, knitting needles, and it was absolutely freezing. I stayed out about 5 minutes and I was frozen when I come back. I've done a sleeve. I've done a sleeve. And the grey doesn't show up well on camera, does it? But it does. It's quite a big difference in daylight, but I've got one more sleeve to make, but I'm not doing that tonight now because it's midnight. And it's time for me to make sure that these little kiddie winkies go and have a wee, which should be fun. Not because they don't want to go out because it's raining and it's blowing a gale. And they do need to go out. It's on such a big hook, actually, Jean. I really would prefer it to be on a finer hook. If I do it again, I'm going to redesign the pattern, do it my own way, if you know what I mean, and do it on a finer hook because I think this is too open. You know, I don't like crochet too open. I know it's all the fashion and everything, but I'm not fashionable. You know, to me, it's too holy. Look, you can see daylight through it. I would prefer it was finer, you know, more a denser fabric, yeah. But people seem to like open work, so maybe I'm wrong, but I would do it on a smaller hook. That's on a 6mm. I would do it on a 5 or a 450, especially with double knitting. I would, yeah. I think 5mm is about as big as I would go with double knit, really. That's your 3-ply in America. I get mixed up between sport weight and something weight. I don't know what. And fingering, I get all muddled up with what's sport weight, what's fingering, what's the. I had my horrible blanket on tonight. My awful, awful. I hate making blankets. And this was. I made this in chunking. It took me forever to make it, and I just hate it. I hate the colour, and I hate making blankets. I really hate making blankets. I don't understand how people can make blanket after blanket after blanket because it would drive me bonkers. It would drive me insane. You can hear this snoring. That is Trixie Bell. She's snoring her little head off. Right. I'll have to get up earlier to move all my rubbish. Because if they come in tomorrow morning and it's rubbish everywhere, they'll go, ah. It's my lounge. But still, I try to keep it tidy. Right, peoples, I am going to go to beddy bows now. Me and the doggy poos are going to bed. And I will see you all shortly. And I may make a video. Why am I going to make a video on Monday? No, I'm going to make a video when my trousers come. That's what I'm going to make a video with. And show you my new patchwork trousers from Moonbeams and Mayhem. I love that shop. If you're a boho like me, you should look at it because it's not a cheap shop. But my goodness, I love everything they sell in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did me video, yeah. I was trying to show me little boho-y thing, but I didn't really get, because it was, and I tried a different lighting setup and I looked like a ghoul. So it didn't work, yeah. Right, okay, bye. I will get in touch with you, Amanda Jade, because the post office man did say I could post things, but they might get jammed up in the queue. So really, I prefer to wait until they're not jammed up in a queue, if you know what I mean. Because I don't want them to get to the bottom of the heap, which is what happened over Christmas when they went on strike. Everything went to the bottom of the pile, and parcels just didn't get sent out at all. So I don't think I want that. I'd rather wait till the end of the week and make sure everything's fine. Yeah. But I've got the prices. All I need to do now is wait, and I'm fine. Right, cheers, everybody. I'm going to Bobo's now with my little doggies. And wish me luck because I won't get a good night's sleep because I will have Trixie Bell snoring in my ear and treading all over me. I usually finish up in the chair because that's how bad it is. Yeah. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. Cheerio as I go on my way. I'm showing my age now because that was Gracie Fields. Cheerio as I go on my way. Bye now.